Hey guys, welcome back to our very popular channel. So हम लोग basically every week of the IPL cover करने वाले थे, but हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा busy थे, तो
बिजी
अभी
थे।
somewhere halfway there से थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो चुका है IPL का। और आज बहुत मज़ा आया, तो आज हमको मोटिवेशन मिला है। थैंक यू टू गौतम गंभीर। तो क्या लगता है इस साल IPL? लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द टेबल। क्या इज इट ऑन एक्सपेक्टेड लाइंस? व्हाट क्या क्या लग रहा है मतलब?
आई थिंक अ फ्यू टीम्स हैव डन क्या बोलते हैं, एक्सपेक्टेशन से बेटर किया है कुछ टीम्स ने। एंड ऑन द अदर हैंड सम टीम्स जिससे हमें बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशंस थे, हमने जहां स्टार्ट में बोला था कि दीज गाइस कुड यू कुड वॉच आउट फॉर देम वगैरह, वो लोग बहुत खराब किए हैं। बट ऑन द होल आई थिंक बहुत ही ज्यादा क्लोज है ये आईपीएल, क्योंकि अभी टेबल देखेगा तो आई थिंक Gujarat is on 12 points and 2 to 6 are on 10 points each, I think. And Mumbai are yet to play their ninth game, so they could join in the middle as well. Um what do you make of the of Delhi and Sunrisers? Because I think the two of us at least had some high hopes from these two sides in the beginning of the season.
I still honestly feel that both Delhi and Sunrisers have an outside chance. Even Delhi, because their team is very good. All they need, even I think, I don't know, till you upload it, maybe वो game हो चुका होगा. But if they are willing to play uh, or win tomorrow, in somehow if they are able to win tomorrow, then I think they are still also in the race. Because it's not कि कोई एक दिन पे कोई भी किसी को भी हरा सकता है, ऐसा टीम नहीं है उनका. इवन सनराइजर्स, आई थिंक सनराइजर्स थोड़ा बॉलिंग में मार खा रहा है मेरे ख्याल से, क्योंकि दे कीप कंसीडरिंग अ लॉट ऑफ रन्स एंड वी हैव सीन कि सनराइजर्स जनरली वैसी टीम थी कि डिफेंड कर लेती थी छोटे स्कोर
Hmm.
जैसे. पर ये लाइनअप के साथ आई थिंक भुवी, ऑनेस्टली आई एम
Even
नॉट.
the batting,
मलिक एंड
Harry Brook has been inconsistent. Rahul Tripathi has been inconsistent.
द वंस वी थॉट
Markram
कि
has
फायर
been,
करेंगे, ब्रुक्स है, राहुल त्रिपाठी,
yeah,
मयंक, तो कहाँ पता नहीं 6 पे खिला रहे थे उसको बीच में.
हाँ.
सो इट फील्स टफ. बट दिल्ली ऑन द अदर हैंड आई फील एक दो उनके नो क्लोज गेम्स गए, बट
Hmm.
अदरवाइज
I
आई थिंक
think,
दिस.
what do you make of Akshar batting so down the order?
या आई थिंक थोड़ा स्ट्रैटेजिक इश्यूज है उनमें. लाइक अक्षर पटेल शुड डेफिनेटली बैट इट फोर द वे खेल रहे. इवन आई थिंक, आई डोंट नो व्हाट्स द सीन विद पृथ्वी शॉ, ड्रॉप कर दिया क्या उसको?
हाँ हाँ
या
हाँ, ड्रॉप कर दिया, ये
आई
प्रॉपर
थिंक दैट्स
ड्रॉप.
आल्सो अ हार्श कॉल. आई मीन ही इज योर मैच विनर, राइट? तो आई थिंक एट सम पॉइंट इन द सीजन ही दे
पॉन्टिंग
विल बैक.
पॉन्टिंग पर आके बोला प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कि इन द लास्ट 12 to 14 innings he hasn't scored a half century, वगैरह वगैरह. And there are other players in the team who can do the job right now, so that's why he has been dropped from the side करके ही बोला प्रॉपर.
पर वो थोड़ा धार था उसका, पता है मतलब, एक प्रेजेंस थी पृथ्वी शॉ की,
हम्म.
एटलीस्ट
बट ये
फॉर.
सीजन एटलीस्ट इन द फर्स्ट फ्यू मैचेस इट डिडंट लुक, इट जस्ट लुक लाइक, पहला क्या था, देयर वाज अ मेथड टू मैडनेस, ऐसा लगता था कि
हम्म.
वो जो शॉट मार रहा है इवन इफ द बॉल वाज स्विंगिंग एंड स्टफ, ऐसा कुछ अच्छा ये सोच के ये कुछ कर रहा है. ये सीजन में ऐसा लग रहा था कि आंख बंद करके बस घुमा रहा है. तो
क्या है
व्हेन यू
थोड़ा
डू,
उसका.
हाँ, पावर प्ले में अगर तुम वो करना चालू करोगे ना, तो फिर यू आर बाउंड टू गेट कॉट आउट. मेरे को रोहित का भी अभी वो थोड़ा लग रहा है कि हर बॉल हिट आउट और गेट आउट, मतलब
I think
बंदे.
before we deep dive further into the table, let's talk about two or three important things that we saw this IPL. So let me bring up the first one. This IPL, 45 games or 42 games, 23 uh, plus 200 scores. So basically around 80 innings, mein you're getting a 200 one in 4 innings.
हम्म.
That is one. Second is teams batting first are winning much more than teams batting second. Normally it's the other way.
हम्म.
Hurt used to win the toss, choose to field and just chase whatever was put in.
हम्म.
इस साल ऐसा नहीं है. And thirdly, the impact player has made lives of some batters, especially bowling में तो चलो उसका सीधा impact है कि वो people are using it for people like Amit Mishra, Piyush Chawla, kind of depending on the surface. But batting mate has made lives of some batsmen a lot worse and some a lot better. So we'll deep dive into that. But what do you think about this phenomena of more than 200 scores? Is it all owing to the impact player, or do you think there's more to that?
I think it has to do with the pitches as well, because pitches as well as the impact player and the pitches are a combination, I think, because as soon as the batting team that is batting first, they can keep going with having a proper batsman at number 8 as well sometimes, which means
Correct.
that the batting lineup that was close to, and it also allows the top order to bat more freely. So you can look at it and go, oh, if we have an extra batter in the side, if you look at the Chennai side, if you have Jadeja at 7, if you have Dhoni at 8, then मतलब तू कितना लंबा तेरा batting order है, you can see that. I think it's an advantage to some teams, a disadvantage to some teams as well. But I like this impact player rule because it's all not only because it's, but at the same time, it's not like some of the chases that we have seen this season have been horrendous. We just saw Lucknow not able to chase 127 last night. They just kept on going. And sometimes you just have to like have a calm head and say, you know what, it's just 6 runs per over. Let's just knock for a few overs. In the end, we'll get the boundary. We have wickets in hand. You can't go that hard that early. Again,
Exactly.
Lucknow failed to chase 135 against Gujarat Titans as well. Now, I'm just mentioning a few examples where the chasing side could have done so much better. If you remember the
Correct.
RCB Chennai game, RCB needed 46 in 24 balls, 36 of 20 with 6 wickets in hand. If you don't chase that at Chinnaswamy, you're not chasing that anywhere else in the world. Again, against even if you look at the, I think there was one more chase that they bottled, but we'll get to that. But yeah, that's the key. What do you think?
No, that's spot on. So I think there are two things. Chasing में भी sides को क्या लग रहा है कि जो relatively कम scores थे, जैसे आज का था, even the 135 versus which team was that?
Gujarat.
Gujarat. I think what they are thinking is कि because अपने पास एक extra batsman है, we'll just go berserk, kill the chase, nip the balloon in the butt and just
Hmm.
get on with it. But what I think teams fail to realize is that there have been instances कि 50 रन बने 3 ओवर में, chasing में. तो तुमको वो टेंशन लेने का जरूरत ही नहीं है कि लास्ट में आपसे 25 रन बनेंगे कि नहीं 3 ओवर में, राइट? यू कुड जस्ट प्ले नॉर्मल क्रिकेट ऑन द मेरिट. आज जो अपन ने देखा स्पेसिफिकली was absolutely ridiculous the way they were going after, even Puran, Stoinis, each one of them got out in the deep, caught. Power play chal bhi nahi raha and you're just hitting out just because maybe you have the cushion of one extra batsman. That doesn't make sense, right?
And they
So
didn't have Rahul as well, so it made more not sense to me what they
correct.
did. And yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So what I was coming to was that with the impact player in, right, I think a lot of the top order, I'm just looking at the teams right now, which top order batsman? Maybe Devon Convoy is one who has done really well, right? Uh, which else? Who else? I mean, Dhawan maybe towards the start of the season he was doing well. No other top order batsman really, like opener has really taken on. I think one reason for that is teams are thinking ki chalo extra player hai, we'll go super hard at the top. I think that's what's handicapping Prithvi Shaw and Rohit Sharma. The likes of whom normally we'll see Prithvi Shaw go for nice ground shots, cover drives. ये उठाने जा रहा है अभी. Same with Rohit Sharma. We have never seen Rohit Sharma making room and trying to hit or trying to slog. Always proper cricketing shots ही आते थे उसके. But with the impact player, I think they are trying over than what they should, and that's where they're failing. I think a lot of what's going on with Rohit specifically is, I would say, a side effect of the impact player rule.
Yeah, quite possible he wants to take the power play on, fair enough. I think Faf has been the player of the season so far.
Correct,
Uh,
correct.
because not just because agreed he played at Jaiswal special mention too. I thought we were planning to do this on Sunday and I had some points. So I was still before that Jaiswal. Now Faf was my player of the season so far, because it's not easy, when you have only Kohli and Maxwell scoring runs apart from himself, then it's not easy to like every game to churn out those runs. Like I've seen that over the years how hard it is to just keep going. He has scored and at a high strike rate as well. I think Faf has been brilliant. Coming to the points that you mentioned, what was the second one after the 200 plus scores?
Lot of teams winning batting first.
We discussed that, right? That did we discuss it? Nahin, na?
We did. It's
We did.
sides are botching up chases basically, right? Yeah.
And scoreboard pressure is scoreboard pressure. It doesn't
Exactly. I
matter.
think it has evened
हाँ.
out the बैट बहुत ज्यादा पावरफुल हो गया था बॉल के सामने विद
Hmm.
दिस इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर अभी दोनों का बैट इक्वली पावरफुल हो गया है इन सम वियर्ड सेंस इट इज या काइंड ऑफ डूइंग अ बैलेंसिंग एक्ट
Hmm.
what do you think
Another. Hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
what do you think is like something that's really standing out? I know you mentioned FAF, but other than RCB, what
No, we'll get to specific players as well because I wanted to discuss this with you. A lot has been made about the strike rates. कि तुम किस मोमेंट पे why don't you just keep on going? तुम्हारा strike rate drop क्यों हो रहा है and stuff. Where do you stand on it? Because I think we both have different opinions on that based on our previous conversations.
see,
So,
there is for me, it's very straightforward. If you are chasing and if you're chasing 140, I don't see the need at all for you to hit out unless you're batting in the last 3 overs and you need 40 for whatever reason. If you messed up the chase, you go for it, you get out fine. If second innings, it's all subjective, right? It depends on what's the scoreboard asking you to do. There's nothing to do ki 80-20 है तो मैं मार के खेलूंगा. That's rubbish from where I start. If you are batting first and if you are the opener and आपने realize किया है कि ठीक है ये relatively flat pitch है और आपने power play में 50-55 runs मार भी दिए उसके बाद if you are slowing down in 7 to 15 then I think that's something that I would be critical of. I know you're coming to Kohli with this even
because they
right?
are
Like but
the main
I
batters
was
who
reading
will
some numbers, right?
criticize you.
Like spin, now it's like openly seen that they are trying to stifle him in the middle overs with spin. Versus pace, he's attacking very nicely through the power play, right? But when spin comes in, he doesn't have the sweep. He doesn't have those, cheeky shots.
Yeah.
I think he kind of struggles, and even he's kind of shy to slog as well because I think the reason for that is the depth in the batting lineup.
And no, and also he is one batter who is reluctant to step out of the ground, to step out of his crease. Again,
Correct. Even today
yesterday
we saw, right?
was the first time that he stepped out. I'm okay with him getting out stumped, but because like over the years he keeps mentioning that he doesn't do the things like slog sweep या पीछे मारना
I
वगैरह
think you
because it
you
affects
mentioned one
his.
the step out one is very important because you're right.
हाँ.
Most people, just even if you see someone is struggling against spin, right? Mostly what they'll do is try to reach the pitch of the ball and hit one out of the park. This guy never does that. Maybe that's something.
That's what over the years he has mentioned that he doesn't do all these cheeky shots because it affects his ODI and Test game. But now when if the opposition is trying to contain him using spin, then he needs a few additional shots. So that there, I think that stepping out of I was happy that he stepped out of the crease. Even if he gets out, it's okay. But if he's ready to take some additional risks, then that helps him. But the strike rate point, I think it's subjective to teams as well. So how I see it is, I think during the Lucknow match, this was discussed a lot, where RCB were around 60 for no loss, and um, the next 4 overs they scored 25, 26 or something like that. And after that, and there also has to be a balance between if they are trying or if they are just looking to defend. So from over 6 to 10, I thought they were looking to get the odd boundary and otherwise put the bad ball away and otherwise just take singles.
Are
And
you
the
talking about
previous.
the LSG game, RCB LSG game?
Yes, the first one, the Chinnaswamy one, where the criticism began. I'm highlighting that for a reason. I'll get to it. So in that game, the game before that Lucknow played, they chased down 220 in the previous game against Chennai, or 215, something of that sort. Same as this total. In that game, Bishnoi had 3 for 28 in a game where 420 runs were scored. So as soon as Bishnoi comes in after the power play, the batsmen are thinking, you know what, he's the one who and Chennai have the luxury to keep going without stopping, considering the batting lineup that they have. RCB don't have that luxury. So if I have to be critical, I would have been critical of Faf in that innings because Faf was 30 of 30 and then he made up and scored 45 in his next 15 balls. That strike rate went to 300 in the last 15 balls. So I agree that they have gone a bit faster. I absolutely don't agree to the fact that Kohli slowed down because his half century was coming.
No,
That
no, that
that
was rubbish. That
that
was
I
Simon
think
Jones.
is absolute rubbish.
No, no, no logic to that because yeah, that's
Hmm.
rubbish. But I think to दिखेगा तो there is a pattern also to Kohli slowing down. He slows down on certain kinds of lengths, right? जब
Hmm.
spinner को डालता है तो it's not कि he's not trying to hit. He gets the ball,
Exactly.
but the moment he starts hitting the good length or leg spinners, maybe
Hmm.
he does slow down for sure
And
because he
even
doesn't step out, right? He's a sitting,
hmm.
मतलब same position में हो तो it's not easy if you are not
So
sweeping.
it's easy
What
for
you
the
do?
bowler as well to pick the
Right.
keep bowling at the same lengths.
I think
So
it's very similar to what used to happen with Dhoni towards the fag end of his career,
hmm.
like 2017-18. Spinners
Hmm.
used to come in and go like just sitting there. Although Kohli is doing much better with strike rotation. One
Hmm.
thing about strike rate I'll like to mention is so what when we say right keep going for it. So let's take case in point CSK versus RR game. Jadeja comes in at number 5. He scores 10 of 8 balls. Okay.
Hmm.
He doesn't score a boundary. Still striking at 120. He's trying to score, but clearly he's not, fully going for it. Right? He's मतलब दिख रहा है कि वो stifled है in his approach. Then Dhoni comes in at 13 of 4. CSK lose by 1 run, I would say, because although they were, batting
Six,
first, but if
seven.
they had
Hmm.
2 runs more, they would have won, right? So here, like this Jadeja approach, I've seen it with a lot of players where they're like presumably you can see कि हाँ हमने मारने
Hmm.
का try किया, but it's truly not big hit, big hit. I think same goes with Virat Kohli also in the middle overs. He does try to hit it, but he doesn't really break the shackles. कि
Hmm.
अब जाके clear the ground ऐसे वो intent नहीं
Hmm.
आता है. And I think T20 game is moving to a place where you need that. You look at the way Jaiswal is playing, right?
Hmm.
It's a completely different ball game.
Hmm.
For all the class that Kohli has, if that class cannot produce a strike rate that is like this, then I think in the next two
No,
three
I
years
think,
will go
of
far,
course.
far
I
ahead.
think when you look at just this season, even Faf at times we have felt that, strike rate is lagging behind or something like that. But with this batting order, we'll get to the batting order and stuff because the fourth highest run getter is 50 runs. When you have one who has 500, 450, the another has 360, there's Maxwell with 260, and the next is 50, Dinesh Karthik. So the gulf in क्या बोलते हैं, the gap in what the top three are doing and the rest of the batters are doing is huge. So that's why I have a little bit of leeway for them especially.
No, no,
But yeah,
that is true.
but I
Their
absolutely
batting
get your,
lineup is not deep enough to just keep going for it. It's subjective to the team.
yeah, and I absolutely agree that there have to be some क्या बोलते हैं, he can't just get locked up because that will put pressure on Maxwell as well
He
to
is doing either of two things. He gets blocked up or he gets out. So
getting
I
out
think
is no problem in this format, but
so. That's
getting
what is
locked
happening,
up.
right? Agar
Hmm,
if he keeps locked up, then we know at the end he will accelerate in the last 3, 4, 5
hmm,
overs versus pace. He
hmm.
again will bring it up. Strike rate total 160, 170 हो जाएगा. But he's doing well. I think he's trying at least. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
considering like our T20 main team T20 batters, he's still among the top batters from India. So
So
in
let's do that actually. Let's talk about our T20 main team and then see what they are doing in the IPL.
I wanted to discuss this with you. I am absolutely against Hardik batting at 3. We have one batter who comes in and just strikes from ball 1, and that guy is trying to play the anchor role at number 3 for God knows why. Sai Sudarshan played well, Abhinav Manohar played well, Vijay Shankar has played well for them. So I don't understand him trying to bat at 3. I don't know what the purpose of that is. He's not a power play specialist that he just comes in power play, scores 20 of 10. You know what he wants to do. As soon as he'll get the boundary, he'll take a single, and he doesn't. I don't know why he's like it's baffling.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either because I don't really think that he's the kind of player in the long run. Just thinking from India standpoint here, for Gujarat also, I don't know if it's the best thing, but I think for Gujarat, they're winning, doesn't matter, right? You can say it's
Yeah,
working for them. But for India, yeah, I don't see him batting more than number 5. Above number 5, I don't see him coming ever.
yeah, exactly. With so many top order batters there in the side, I
What's
think a
what's
few
up with
batters.
what's up with Rahul? I mean, clearly not playing well. I know he got injured and whatnot, but
It's like a bit subjective as well. The pitches that they have played on in the home matches have been rubbish for batting. So in yesterday's match, if you see, you can't look at strike rate and say, oh, 100 strike rate, that's bad. Faf won the man of the match award with 44 or 40. On another day, you'll have essays being written of how the batsmen are struggling to score runs and all those things. So the home pitches haven't helped, certainly. There have been instances where he has looked good and just gotten out. But there have been some instances where he batted for 10 overs against Gujarat in a 135 run chase and they bottled it up. That is proper bottling it up because
unforgivable. I think at this
30 of
level you can't do that.
yeah 30 of 33 with 9 wickets in hand or 8 wickets in hand. So look, we know that confidence has been an issue for him. Now with that injury, probably it could be a blessing in disguise as well. He gets the break away from cricket that he needs. I thought it was severe. I don't understand how he was allowed to bat again.
Exactly.
But whatever it is, hope he recovers very quickly. But there are a few batters that I wanted to highlight as well. Yashasvi Jaiswal, Jitesh Sharma are two that come to my mind straight away. What do you make of these two? Because like you have been highlighting, the T20 is at a stage where you just have to keep on going and not stop when you're batting first, and sometimes even in a run chase when you're chasing over 200 and stuff. These two guys have consistently just kept on going, and it's in a team that where he opens with Butler. So Butler striking around 130 and scored 300 runs. This guy's smoking it around 160, 170. What do you make of it?
Absolutely. I think I will be baffled if he doesn't make it to the India 11. Assuming that he'll continue his run of form through the season, obviously. But I think
Even if once you know the potential, I think there needs to be that
that's absolutely true. Because
additional
even like
assurance.
let's say 160, 170 k chases in T20. So I said that we don't. It's subjective when you're batting second. But even if you're batting second and if you're opening the innings, then it is your or even the top three, even number
Yeah,
three. I would
power play, you have to take
go for it
advantage of it.
because look at what happened India versus England semi-final of the World Cup. They just killed the chase in the power play, man. Like in the first 10 overs, the game was done for all
64 for no loss.
exactly.
Hmm.
So वो ability होनी चाहिए. I haven't seen Rohit do that in a while. I haven't seen Rahul do that in a while. They are our T20 specialist openers. I don't see why they are in the team at all at this point. Rohit, I think he's too good a player. I think, but over the last 5-7 years, man, when was the last time we saw Rohit special in the IPL? I don't even remember.
Yeah, IPL he has struggled. We have discussed it at length as well a few times. But yeah, I do agree that probably Gill has been doing really well as well. Gaikwad has been doing really
Exactly.
well. Conway, like
Hi,
overall in
Rahane.
terms of
Look at Rahane.
Oh yeah, Rahane has been another player that we should talk about
Boss, he's
because
he's टोंकिंग इट फास्ट बॉलर्स के
uh,
सामने मिड विकेट के ऊपर छक्के पेल रहा है धोनी भी नहीं करता था अपने प्राइम पे जैसे शॉट्स वो लगा रहा है अभी unbelievable man I think he's the fourth highest strike rate in the entire season who thought that
yeah, he's been
strike rate is
absolutely
190
outstanding. Yeah, I think Jaiswal, Jitesh Sharma, all these guys deserve a special mention because they just keep going. Like from ball one, you can see that their strike rate is almost. If I remember correctly, the second ball that Jaiswal faced, he smacked it for six. I mean,
like Sky right even Sky
yeah,
first आया था ना आरआर के सामने आउट भी होता है फर्स्ट बॉल पे बट ही इज केपेबल ऑफ डूइंग
yeah.
दैट सो टेक
When
इट
you
man
have that kind of ability, in the power play, I think the top two run scoring teams have been RCB and Rajasthan. Like the power play batting has been incredible this season as well. Agreed, they have been playing on batting friendly pitches,
still
but still scoring at 9-10 every time in the power play is not easy. So I've loved that approach in the power play, especially from Jaiswal and Ruturaj Gaikwad as well, because Devon Conway is someone that likes to take a little bit of time. So who do you think will be the top four teams this season?
for me I think Gujarat Rajasthan CSK and Bangalore I'm confused between Mumbai and Bangalore, but I think Bangalore will pull it off. What about you?
I think Gujarat, Chennai, Rajasthan, and Lucknow.
You don't think Bangalore will make it?
No, because you can't have three batsmen in the side doing the job all the time. At some stage, they are bound to fail. So far in these 8 games, they've had like if Faf failed, Kohli and Maxwell delivered. If Kohli failed, Faf and Maxwell have done the job. In some games, all three have done the job, scored 215, and still they have lost. So I don't see if I hope that it doesn't happen. In the first over, Kohli departs like against Rajasthan, and in the next over, Maxwell, when trying to go for a shot, uh, gets caught early in the innings, and we are 10 for 2 suddenly. I don't see how we manage to come back from there because our next best bet is Dinesh Karthik, and now we have signed Kedar Jadhav as well. So
Actually, Kedar Jadhav might not be the worst thing to happen. Actually, the way Bangalore is,
I don't know. I like if they do qualify, no one's happier than me.
कब
But
से आएगा केदार?
he's already he was in the dugout yesterday watching the Kalesh.
वही कलेश होंगे. But yeah, I
So
think he'll play. I think he's still better than what Lomror and what they're not doing anything.
Shahbaz. Yeah, exactly. So that's been the problem. If 4, 5, 6, 7 uh, uh are able to deliver, then I think we do make for top 4. But otherwise, I think it's tough because Faf Kohli have already scored what 350, 400 runs each already, and we are just into the 8th game of the season. Maxwell has scored around 260. Maxwell, you don't want him to change how he plays because once he connects, it's just different ball game altogether. Those knocks against Chennai and Rajasthan, some of the cleanest hitting that I've seen. And he's one guy who it doesn't matter if it's the power play or over 7 to 8, 7 to 15 or whatever. He just knows one way. And you need that kind of players in your side as well. The anchor role is fine for Faf or Kohli, but you want Maxwell to keep doing this more often than not because that's how he plays and वो 200 strike rate manage कर लेता in that way. So yeah, I don't see them. But there, I think, look, Mumbai, they can with Jofra coming back just very recently. Punjab winning, chasing 200 against Chennai. I think even they beat Rajasthan as well. So if you see the 5, 6, 7, 8 have beaten top teams. RCB beat Lucknow, RCB beat Rajasthan. So I don't think this is going to be like there will be a runaway top 2 and 2 teams competing for 3, 4 or something like that. I think this is going till the end. Uh, so yeah, even Delhi can come back in if they win their next 2. Suddenly you're looking at what 4, 6, and that could again bring them into the contest as well. But yeah, coming to let's go with Orange Camp. This is interesting.
I think Faf ले जाएगा यार. He's already quite a mile ahead. He's
No,
going to
no. Jaiswal
wicket.
scored the 100 and now they are like 5, 10, 15 something uh behind each other. So
Yeah, but I
Jaiswal is
still
a
I'll back if he qualifies, if RCB qualifies, I think Faf will take it.
in terms of bowling, I think a few bowling attacks I would like to talk about. What do you make of Chennai bowling lineup? Because I've been very impressed with Pathirana.
Only one वो एक impressive चीज है उसमें. There's nothing else in that entire lineup. Spin is weak. They needed a leg spinner, a proper, Imran Tahir type का एक कोई. That's very, clearly missing. Pace Pathirana के अलावा किसी के पास नहीं है. I thought initially that other guy was कौन था वो इसके साथ तुषार
Akash
देशपांडे.
Singh.
नहीं रे वो
Akash.
अंडर 19 वाला था ना एक हंगर केकर. I think he
हाँ,
was he was bowling better than I know Tushar Deshpande has the purple cap, but
both orange
anyway.
cap भी close है वो. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. चेन्नई बॉलिंग लाइनअप में देख के लगता था भाई ये तो पिटेंगे हर गेम, ये 180 200 पिटने जैसा लाइनअप है. But Pathirana, I've been very impressed with Pathirana because he nails those Yorker,
He's
absolutely
the
nails
next
those
Malinga
Yorker.
level thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he has been brilliant. Akash Singh with the new ball, first few games he was good.
Okay,
Then
फिर
again,
swinging in, but the
हाँ.
thing is मैं कहाँ देख रहा हूँ फ्लैट विकेट्स. क्या इनमें से कोई भी कुछ भी कर सकता है, तो मेरा आंसर पाथिराना के अलावा नो ही है.
But another advantage for Chennai is that the first two playoff matches are in Chennai.
Yeah.
So if they at Chennai, डे गेम में ठीक है, ट्यू का वगैरह कुछ ये नहीं है, and the pitch stays. I thought they should have won the Punjab game as well because they needed what 14 runs per over in the last 4 or 5 overs, and then they lost from there. But yeah, I still think that that bowling lineup, the table shows them to be very much better than what actually the reality is, according to me. A special mention to another couple of bowlers. I think Sandeep Sharma is one of them. Signed as a क्या बोलते हैं, replacement, base price 50 lakh, and he's been absolutely outstanding. What did you make of him?
Yeah, I think he's a veteran level bowler now, at least in the IPL. He always had a good Yorker. New ball के साथ तो we know he swing कराता ही है. But I think he got lucky, man. धोनी उस दिन कर देता ना finish, तो नहीं बोलता तू आज ऐसा. वो एक
No,
बॉल की
but
बात.
so confidence plays a big role, I think, because he delivered against Dhoni. Whatever, he missed a couple of balls, but he delivered in 4 balls. So because of that, after that, I think he has been brilliant. I think only
Yeah,
I
that's
think in
true.
the RCB game where he got hit, but otherwise, I think he has been brilliant after that. As yeah, he took a stunner to dismiss Surya Kumar Yadav the other day as well. So I think he has been very very good, and of course, confidence plays a part. Once you do well against Dhoni in the death overs, your confidence obviously shoots up. Another one I want to talk about is Ashwin, because we have always looked at these, off spinners or the orthodox bowlers and think, oh, it's easier to hit them. But even on flat pitches, Ashwin is able to like have figures like 2 for 27 and 4 and stuff like that. So what do you make of Ashwin so far? I've been very impressed.
Yeah, he's been good. But I think yeah, इंडिया के लिए वापस नहीं पिक करना चाहिए उसको कभी भी. But yeah, he's been very good for RR.
Yeah,
What
it's a
what do
bit
you think
like
of Chahal?
I'm very torn because this is not the first time that in the last few years captains have been reluctant to him when there has been a run fest on the cards. Uh, RCB were some 12 overs, 120 or something for one, and Samson was reluctant to throw the ball to Chahal. He was waiting for a wicket to fall so that he brings him on. So I don't know. And even against Mumbai, when there's a 220 run chase, Chahal pulls only 3 overs and goes for 32, obviously. But I don't know. It's a bit confusing now with Kuldeep ahead in the Indian team as well. Um, so that is one key area that needs to be kept an eye out on. Yeah, any other players that you would like to mention? I've mentioned the special players.
Yeah, I think you pretty much covered whatever I thought of as well. Yeah, I
Another
think
one that you had, I think, in the previous video mentioned that was going to do really well was Akshar Patel, that he could win them
I think
matches
he's
on their
he's
own.
languishing down the order, man. I think with the bat he can offer so much more. I don't know. At least in the initial half of this season, ऐसा लगा थोड़ा towards the last couple of games, he's also kind of struggling. But yeah, I think the entire team for Delhi, it's they haven't picked up momentum, and I think they should give him a shot up the order, maybe even try him at 3 or 4. What's
Hmm.
what's there to lose?
Yeah, uh, so I think that basically covers everything. I would like to discuss more on strike rate, but we'll do that next time with some numbers as well.
Yes,
So yeah, so let's get back once the playoff teams have been decided, and let's do a review then as well.
sure,
So
but you never know if Gautam Gambhir provokes us, we might come back sooner.
yes, वापस उन दोनों का तो नहीं होगा, किसी और के साथ उसको फाइन भरना है तो we can try
Uh,
that. Yeah, so thank you for joining and let's meet soon.